Hey, how's it going? It's Sophia here from Zen Guidance. I hope all is well with you today, and thank you for clicking on this pick a card reading. So in this reading, we're going to be looking at advice from spirit you need to hear right now. So all you need to do is choose one of the three images on your screen. Once you've made your choice, you can go to the description box below, where you'll find the corresponding timestamps to your chosen pile. You'll also find the link to my website, so if you'd like to book a personal reading with me, that's where you'll find all the info. Okay, so let's get into your reading now. Click the timestamp and I'll see you there. Okay, group number 1. Let's take a look at your advice from Spirit. What you need to know right now. So group 1, what is the advice you need to hear right now? Okay, so we have dedicated effort, helpless and hopeless, balance. Okay. Actually, I feel like I'm just going to get one more. The advice you need to hear right now. Oh, okay. Flew out there for you. So let's see. What was this? Observe. Okay. Okay, so your advice from Spirit. The first thing I'm feeling here is that you're being guided to take a step back from something. Okay, to stop putting in the effort, to stop putting in so much work. Okay, because it kind of feels like you're on this spiral here where you feel like you're not getting anywhere. And I feel like it's been causing you a lot of anxiety, a lot of worry. You may have even been having some sleepless nights. But I just get this sense of you pondering your future a lot at this time. Like you're looking off into the horizon and it's like you see the light, you see the potential for you to have this very happy and fulfilling life, but you feel like you're miles away from it. It's like, what's that phrase? The thief of joy is comparison. I believe that's how it is, but along those lines. And so social media can be such a catalyst for that comparison. So it may be that you've been spending a lot of time on social media, or maybe not even a lot of time, but you've just been feeling it more, feeling a sense of maybe envy for some of you. But you don't know what they're going through potentially on that holiday. They may be arguing with their partner or their family. They may have had all sorts of issues that they choose not to share. Or they may have all of these other personal issues going on in their life that they choose not to share, but they show the good parts. But this is where I feel like you're really being called to come back to yourself. Maybe this is about a social media detox, okay? But it doesn't necessarily have to be social media. This could even be your close friends, or again, family members or colleagues even. People that you know and you feel like you're not getting somewhere. It feels like you're putting in all of this effort and you have been trying so hard to make these improvements, to take yourself to the next level. But it's like, yeah, you just feel like you're on this hamster wheel that you can't get off. Okay, you're wanting to move forwards, but you just keep going round and round. And so the advice coming through here for now, in this moment, is to take a rest, to take a reset, or like I said, some kind of detox, giving yourself some space from looking at other people's situations. Okay, but I know that it's not just about other people and you comparing, but I feel like there is just this part of you where you feel like something is missing. And you don't know how to get it, and you feel like you've done all that you can to get it. And now it's like you're playing the waiting game. You're waiting for something to transform. You're waiting for your life to begin, in a sense. But you're being called here to, I feel like, be very careful about what you are observing right now, the media that you're taking in, because this may be causing you to feel more anxious. And the problem with that is when you get into a place of lack, it's harder to attract the abundance because you need to be on a higher vibration in order to attract more and more to you. So it's a bit of a catch-22. You feel that sense of lack, and then you can feel like you're being fake in a way, like that toxic positivity. But it's finding a balance between hope, having a positive outlook, appreciating where you are now, but also it's the lack that will drive you. So it's not always a bad thing. Sometimes we need to get into a negative place. Sometimes we need to go through a low in order to reach a high, because it can be that pushes us. Like, it's oftentimes breakups, deaths, losing a job, things that change your life dramatically that will shift you to make new changes, to set new goals. Because sometimes it's a way of distraction to get away from the pain. Okay, but there is something here. I feel like it's connected to a relationship that has come apart, okay, or has fallen down. So this may be a long-time relationship you've been in that's been very rocky, or having issues, or you've split. Or this may even be this sense of you never feeling like you're in a relationship. Maybe you're in a string of situationships after situationships, and you don't feel like you can get past that stage, to a committed stage. It just feels like you're wanting to share your life with people. Okay, but there's a part of you that doesn't feel like you can right now in some way. Yeah, it's definitely like a lonely feeling that I'm getting here. Okay, let's just see what else is coming through here. What is your advice from Spirit right now, Group 1? What is your advice from Spirit? Deep knowing. All that glitters. Yin. And building blocks. Okay. I mean, the deep knowing card here, I'm really drawn into the number 43. I don't know if 43 has significance for you. Like, it's maybe it's your age, maybe it's the age you're turning for some of you. That could be kind of freaking you out. But in numerology, this reduces to the number 7. And we've also got, I've just seen, we've got 16 here, which is also the same thing. It reduces to the number 7. So we've got a few 7s coming through here, which you may be seeing a lot in synchronicity. And these are messages from your guides. When you see the number 7, you are divinely protected. Okay, but there is, for you, again, it's this deep knowing that there is more to life, or you feel like there is more to life. Even though you may be somebody that's very grateful and appreciative of the present moment, and you try your best to have a positive attitude, but again, it's like you feel that there is more. Okay, you do feel like there is more. I feel like there's a mixture of things coming through here that I feel you're longing for. A partner to share your experiences with. I feel like you're wanting more money. And more excitement, I feel, Group 1. I just feel this sense of like boredom, restlessness, like you feel like it's Groundhog Day. Every day is just like rolling into the next, and you don't feel like there's much of a contrast or a variety in what's going on in your life at this time. Like you're wanting, some fun. You're wanting something shiny. You're wanting something new. Again, maybe you are really desiring something practical, something, I just heard for some of you, like a new phone or a new laptop or something like technical. Yeah, some kind of electronic. Okay, but for some of you, this might also be, I'm seeing something about the eyes here, sunglasses. Maybe there's a pair of sunglasses you really want that's quite expensive, or there's a lot of gold here, so maybe you're wanting more jewelry, or this is just the overall energy, like you're desiring to have these material items. But I feel like here, because this saying is all that glitters is not gold, and so not everything that you are wanting is always going to look shiny and new. Okay, and there's always a price to pay for these things. You know, there's sacrifices to be made, which I know you know, Group 1. I know you know this, and I know you've already made a ton of sacrifices to try and get to this mountain of gold and excitement and fun and sunshine. But yeah, it's not always going to be what you imagine or what it's cracked up to be. Oftentimes, what's in our imagination is far, far greater than what the reality really is. So this is where I feel like you're being guided to manage your expectations a little bit. And again, when it comes to looking at other people's lives, comparing yourself to other people's lives. Oh, and I realized, the saying is comparison is the thief of joy. I got it the other way around before. But it's like you can't control what's going on in your external world, in what other people are doing, and you don't know everything that's really going on. Again, you're just getting the highlight reel. Or even if this is somebody close to you that you know is got all of these things that you desire, they will have desires for other things too. There are people that they will be coveting, maybe even yourself. I'm sure you have all of these amazing, beautiful qualities. We all do. And I feel like, again, we can sometimes overlook our positive qualities and how other people may feel when they look at us. You don't know how many people may be jealous of you, Group 1, and I actually get that sense that quite a few people are jealous of you. But I don't think that you can really see it. Now, they may not obviously express that to you, but I feel like that may even be a part of isolation here, where you feel isolated and sometimes you don't know why. And I feel like a lot of the time, Group 1, it's about jealousy. Okay, so it's like it's a mirroring going on here. You're feeling jealous, or you're feeling envy, or feeling a desire, because that's what envy and jealousy means. I know it sounds really bad. It's termed really badly this day and age. Of course, it can become very toxic, but it's actually very useful because it lets us know what it is we're truly desiring, okay? And so it's just, every emotion we're feeling is there for a reason. And so it's helping you to be aware of those things. But again, it's like you may desire certain things, but it may not be exactly what you expect, okay? And again, people that you're looking at aren't living the lives that you think they are. You just see the positive, okay? What they choose to share with you. Now we've got yin, okay, which is the feminine side of the yin and the yang. Okay, so this again is very similar to this observe energy, because this is about taking time to step back and be in a more receptive energy than an active energy. So again, whether this is related to money, career, love, it feels like you're being guided to do a bit less for now, just to take a break, because we have got building blocks here. And I feel like you're somebody that won't be able to break for long. Like you may get stir crazy if you don't do a lot, but I do feel you need, some kind of a break where you get into your divine feminine energy. Okay. And again, doesn't matter whether you're male or female or how you identify, we all have the masculine and feminine within us. And it's important to utilize both energies as and when we need them. So sometimes we need to be in this yin where we are sitting back, we're listening, we're absorbing like a sponge, okay? And then other times we need to be in the yang of taking action, movement forwards, initiating new things, new changes. And so I feel like there's a need for a reset here for you. Okay, there is a need for you to, step it back. Again, maybe this is the detox, the social media detox, or maybe even spending less time with certain people if they're making you feel badly. Okay, it's not their fault, for instance, like you may be able to say it's not their fault, but just it may be a bit of a bitter pill to swallow at this time for you when you feel like you're trying so hard and it appears that it's falling into the laps of others so easily. And sometimes that really is the case. Okay, and that's the part where life really isn't fair all the time. You know, there's definitely inequalities. And I think that when I look at people's astrological charts and, I can see there's a few people I know and they have all of these wonderful aspects and like planets that are in exaltation and they just seem very lucky and things just flow very easily to them. And then others where there's a lot of squares and oppositions, where there's a constant struggle and it feels like a battle to get to where you want to get to. But everyone's path is different, okay? And I feel like a lot of your path has been struggle, And I do feel there is still more struggle to come, but I don't feel like it's going to be forever. Okay, I actually feel for you, Group 1, that like the second part of your life is going to be much easier than the first part of your life. Okay, you may have had a really tough childhood, you know, whether this was family issues or upbringing, your environment, your wealth status. Maybe you didn't grow up with much money, or maybe you felt unworthy as a child, or maybe you had some other issues going on, whatever it may be that was going on for you. I feel like you've had it pretty tough. Okay, and it's not to say that the ride is over and that there won't be tough times ahead, but I definitely feel like things are starting to level out here. And it may even be because I sense that there was like a lot of drama, a lot of turmoil and upset in your life previously, but it feels like things are much calmer now. Things are much more peaceful, which is still better than being in a volatile place. But then there's that part of you that's missing the excitement. And of course, you don't want like toxic excitement. You want positive, fun experiences that bring you excitement. But I feel like you're being guided to embrace the peaceful energy that's within and that's around you right now. And that this is an important time for you to be absorbing. Okay, because when you sit back and relax, that's when, and think about when we sleep, that's when we dream. That's when emotional blocks can be released. Like I had a dream when was it? Yesterday. I had a dream yesterday morning. It was weird because I was super tired. I've been ill. For most of you, as you know, I've been quite ill the last week or so. I actually don't know what it is. It's been really strange. I think it's been more than a cold. But anyway, so I was super tired. I did some of my email readings in the morning and then I fell asleep afterwards. And I had the weirdest dream and I was crying in the dream and then I woke up crying and I knew instantly I'm releasing a block here. So I let the tears flow. I just let myself feel into it, you know, what I was feeling in the dream, what I was feeling in my real life, and just go with it. Okay, but I see it as a positive thing. But again, it's when we're at rest is when inspiration, is when new ideas, new opportunities can flow to us. Okay, and then I feel like it's time for you to get back out there, to start working hard again. And you'll know the right time. If you're wondering how long to break, that's going to be individual. You know, maybe for some of you 24 hours is all you need. You know, whether this is I'm going to stop trying with a particular person, or I'm going to stop trying with my work, or I'm just going to give myself 24 hours. For some of you, it may be a bit longer. Maybe you need a couple of days. Maybe for some of you, you need a whole week. It depends where you're at and how burnt out you may even be feeling. I mean, we've got the card of debilitation. Oh, no, we don't. It's the retrograde card. I really thought it was the card of debilitation, but I feel like that makes sense. Okay, because that's what I've been seeing. You feeling like you are restricted in your movement forwards and in your progression in your life in some way. Okay, so we have retrograde, which I will get into in a moment. We've got midheaven, Scorpio, ooh, Neptune. Okay. Oh, see, I hate it when it looks slightly askew. You guys know my OCD. Okay, there we go. So there's something about reviewing and going back to something. Now, I am recording this during Mercury retrograde in Aries. Now, you may be watching this at a different time because obviously this is a timeless reading. So it doesn't matter when you're watching this, is when it's meant for you. But I believe as I record it, the energies of the planets are still coming through. So I feel like, yeah, it makes a lot of sense that there is this need to do something. I feel like there's a project or there's something that you've been wanting to start again. Or maybe, yeah, there's something about unfinished business here. Okay. So again, for some of you, this is going to be about love. Okay. You feel like this unfinished business with a person, which is kind of driving you nuts. But for others of you, this is about your career, okay, or your money. Maybe for some of you, it's even both. Maybe you feel like you're not getting anywhere in love or career, or you feel like your efforts are going unnoticed and underappreciated in some way. There's definitely an emphasis here with the midheaven because this points to the very top of your chart. It's usually in the 10th or the 9th house. but it tends to point towards your career house, the 10th house. Okay, but this is the pinnacle. I mean, look, there's so much, even this mound here of all the glitter. It's like you feel like you're trying to climb this mountain here. You want to reach the top. Okay, and I feel like you're destined to reach the top, group 1. I really do. Okay, there's so much about pointing towards the light, and I feel like you can help people also see the light. Like you are meant to be this force to be reckoned with. And I feel like you already are, but sometimes you doubt yourself. Okay, but with this scorpionic energy, there's a magnetism to you. Okay, there's a power, there's a drive. You know, Scorpio is a very powerful force. You know, it can be so intense, okay? But this is the thing. If you want to achieve success, especially when it comes to career, when it comes to finances, because you have more control over it. You don't have full control, but you have more control than, say, you do when it comes to love, as it's more serendipitous, isn't it? Finding the right person or coming together with the right person. Or in terms of trying to make it work, okay? Because again, you're relying on a whole other person. Whereas with work and career, it's all down to you. Of course, it's how you're received by people as well. That's the other side of it. But I still feel like there's a lot more control you have, okay, when it comes to your career. And I feel like, yeah, you are meant to be on top. You are meant to be like the leader or the pioneer for what you do. Okay, like you're meant to be almost like, I just heard like an expert or the best in the world, you know, that type of vibe. Like where a lot of people will come to you and ask for your advice. But it's like, I feel like you're still being guided to be more present with yourself. Okay, to spend some time, like I said, maybe what you do need to do is have a break first, and then it's time to reinvestigate things. Then it's time to get the wheels in motion again. Again, it's like this need for a reset keeps coming through. But there's this, oh yeah, and that's what I was saying about the Scorpio energy. In order to reach the top, you have to be focused. You have to be fixated. The people that reach the top of their field are people that tend to have a lot of Scorpio in their chart, or even any of the fixed signs. The cardinal signs are there to initiate, to create, whereas those fixed sign energy is like, they know the direction they're going in, and that's it, they're laser focused. And I'm not saying everybody with a sun sign, fixed sign is like that. I'm just saying the energy of the signs. Scorpio as a sign is fixated, you know, can move from obsession to obsession, can't be obsessed about a million different things, or maybe is, but can only focus on one thing at a time. Okay, and that is how people get to the top. That is how people reach their goals, is by having that drive and obsession, that motivation that gets them there. Okay, and I feel like you are one of those people, but you just feel right now a bit lost. Okay, and then with Neptune vision, I mean, that makes perfect sense as well, because I feel like, yeah, you're going to take a rest. You're going to take some time to be alone, to focus on your goals, to see what you can change, to see what you can reevaluate and do better moving forwards. And then I feel like, yeah, all of this inspiration is going to come to you. It's all very magical, very spiritual energy that's on its way to you. We've got medicine bag. And eagle medicine, that's interesting. We've had both medicine cards come out here for you. So maybe you've been feeling a little bit under the weather. Maybe you've been a bit poorly. Maybe this is even something chronic. Okay, but it feels like you're going to make some kind of discovery here. So whatever, yeah, if you've got some kind of medical issue, could even be like a skin issue, could be something like acne or something along those lines, okay? Or like I said, anything that's physical in nature, but it's like you can find it it's like this inspiration will come to you from it. But also this feels like the medicine you need in order to achieve your goals. Yeah, because that's what medicine does. It heals us, right? It heals whatever our ailments are. And I feel in more of a spiritual sense, there is this healing coming in. I feel like there are more people going to come in and help you. I also feel like, yeah, there's a lot of self-discovery, like you improving your health, you improving your wealth. I feel like the antidote to your issues is coming through, but it won't come through unless you take some time out again to process. Okay, any other advice from Spirit that you need to hear, Group 1? Judgment. This may have actually brought you down as well. Other people's judgment or perceived judgment. Sometimes you may just think people are judging you, but they're not. Okay, but there is also this block in your awakening happening. But not for long. Just know moving forwards, it's not going to be for long. As long as you take this time to rest. Okay, 9 of Swords. Yeah, as long as you take this time to clear your mind. And maybe you need to also even start with a declutter, okay, of your home. Because as above, so below. If your mind is cluttered and your house is cluttered, the best thing to do is to begin with cleaning the house. Okay, this will help to clear the mind clutter. When you think about any movie where they're doing a makeover of some kind, it makes me think of Limitless. And like the first thing he does after he takes the pill, he cleans his house. He declutters. You know, the external makeover, the mental makeover all comes afterwards. Him writing his book. Like he does that all after he's cleaned the house, he's decluttered. So it's fresh, it's a clean slate. So maybe that's something you've already been doing or felt called to do, but I definitely feel like it's something you should lean into, Group 1, is doing a deep clean, a deep declutter of your home, of your environment, maybe even your workspace, even if this is in an office, but just to keeping things as clear as you can. And this will help you to be on the path of feeling clearer and knowing your direction and feeling like you're moving in the right direction. Because also, if you're wanting more money to you, money has to flow. Okay? Money needs to flow. And how can money flow if there's no space for it to flow? The same as how you need to see it as in a symbolic way. If you want new clothes, get rid of some old clothes. Make space for the new. Okay, so your final messages of advice here. Bring love into the situation. New moon in Aquarius. A new start is coming. Wow. Ooh, step out of your comfort zone. North Node. I love this. Okay, Group 1, because this is about stepping out of your comfort zone and outside of the box. Okay, Aquarius energy is so rebellious and innovative. Okay, I feel like you're going to come up with some new ideas that are going to help you in this new beginning. Okay, I feel like, yeah, there's this divine inspiration that's going to come in that's going to help you, that is not only pushing you towards your future destiny, but it's also going to bring in some of this excitement, okay, that I feel like you're craving. Some fun, some social times. Now, it may not come straight away, but I feel like it's going to put you on the path of receiving what it is that you need. And I feel like this is also about self-love. Like you focus on yourself, focus on making sure you are in the best position as well. Like once you've got your house clean, and then make sure that you feel good in your physical being. Because again, it's like the next step. That's the next step in the makeover, isn't it? Or when people, are on their step up, it's like the external makeover. And so maybe this starts on the inside. Maybe what you're consuming, what you're eating, you may start changing your diet or making healthier choices or just feeling good or making more of an effort in your physical appearance. Not that I say you don't already, but this may just be making even more of an effort or, just trying a little bit harder to get to, so you feel like, you know what, I've done everything I can do that's within my power and the rest is left up to fate. Okay, and that's where I feel like you'll gain that satisfaction, because I feel like you're the type of person, if you don't put in the work or the effort, you're going to have regrets, major regrets. Okay, and you're not that person, but everybody needs a break from time to time. Okay, and again, there's something about electronics here, social media. Aquarius represents social media because it's modern ways of connecting groups of people. Yeah. So again, maybe this is that you get, like I said, some new piece of technology or equipment that helps you in your work or helps you to achieve certain goals. Okay, but I do feel that this is inspiration and ideas. It is going to push you out of your comfort zone. And that's the thing. I feel like everything you're wanting and maybe you're working towards, that it's going to push you out of your comfort zone. Because if you want change, you have to make change in your life. And change itself can be uncomfortable. But we have to do it. If you really want it that much, it's worth the sacrifice. And I feel like that's the place you're in. You're weighing it up. Is this worth the sacrifice anymore? And I really do feel like it is. Okay, but you need a little bit of time. You need to focus on you, focus on your overall well-being, and then get the wheel in motion again. So I really hope that this resonates with you, Group 1. And please do share your thoughts below. If it does, I would love to know what you have to say. Okay, and if you liked the video, please like it. If you didn't like it, give it a downvote, okay? Because all engagement is welcome, okay? So if you'd like to book a personal reading with me also, the link to my website is below. I do hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Bye for now. Okay, group number 2. Let's take a look at your advice from Spirit. Okay, what are you needing to know right now? What is your advice, group 2? Sadness and isolation. Ooh, change your focus. Okay. Wow, the heart chakra. Okay. Group 2. And I'm getting this weird pain in my stomach right now. Like, like someone's like poking me really hard. Why? That just came on all of a sudden. But it's gone now. That's so weird. I don't know. I'm seeing a lot of pain here. A lot of pain. Now, you may be feeling very emotional at this time. I'm seeing tears flowing. Okay, so maybe you've been crying a lot. For some of you, I do feel like this is about a breakup or potentially a third-party situation, okay, or some kind of betrayal or rejection. And I feel like you're grieving this, okay? Now, for others of you, it may just be a feeling, like an overall feeling. Like there's something you're longing for, you don't feel you're getting. So it's causing you to feel a lot of internal grief. Okay, if you're feeling like if you're stopping yourself from crying, don't do that. I feel Spirit is wanting you to know to let it flow. Let your emotions flow out, because here, look, the flow card is reversed. So for some of you, you may have been, holding back tears or trying to remain more positive than how you're really feeling right now. And of course, it's not good to ruminate and to wallow for too long in pain, but it is an important part of the process, because naturally we don't want to stay in that pain when we feel it. Nobody wants to stay in that pain, but there comes a time where there's a choice, whether you decide, you know what, I'm going to focus on what's good in my life now rather than what's not. But you still have to go through the process first. So definitely allow your tears to flow. Okay, they're very healing. Okay, and they actually physically do calm us down. Okay, there's an enzyme in there that helps to bring us a sense of peace. You know what I mean. Okay, but there's something in the tears. I'm sure it's an enzyme, but I can't remember what it's called. But that's why we have them. It's like we wouldn't cry, we wouldn't have the ability to cry if it didn't help us in some way. But it's like if you're holding them back, you're just blocking everything up. Okay, and it's like a pipe. If the pipe blocks up for long enough, nothing else can get through. Okay, so this may even be like you're not able to receive new opportunities because you're still holding on to what was. Okay, but there is a longing here in your heart. There really is. I feel like you've actually come through the worst of it, this sadness and isolation being reversed. So this may have either happened a long time ago, or maybe even not that long ago, but you'll feel like you're over the worst, but you still are not quite there yet. Okay, I mean, the heart chakra here, I feel like you're being guided to heal your heart chakra. Okay, now there are plenty of things that you can do to heal the heart chakra. Wearing the color green or green jewelry, keeping a green crystal or a rose quartz. Those are some physical things you can do, but there's, again, a lot of things you can do. For instance, forgiveness will open up the heart chakra. Forgiveness of others, forgiveness of yourself. Unconditional love. Focusing on those that you do have unconditional love for, like your family or your friends, or even your pets, okay? Spending time with those that give you that unconditional love, so that you're not focusing on those that don't give you that, okay? I know it's easier said than done, but this is your advice, okay? You need to allow things to flow more freely. Now, maybe you haven't been blocked up in your tears, but there's something about feeling stuck. So there's a need to become unstuck, which I'll get more information on for you, group number 2. Okay, we've got never-ending story. Imagine. I mean, I'm not surprised that never-ending story has come through here, okay? Because again, it's the feeling of stuck. It's the feeling of things not going the way that you want. Okay, something repeating. There is some kind of repeating cycle, which I really do feel is connected to your heart, okay? I feel like it's connected to love, to loved ones. I feel like that's what's weighing the most heavily on you right now. Because it's maybe that you're stuck in a cycle with one person, or for some of you, maybe it's 2 people, and you just feel like nothing is changing, nothing is moving. It's just the same. But then this may also be, for instance, that you are going through the same types of relationships. Maybe you don't feel like you can get past the first date with certain people. Whether they reject you or you reject them, you just feel like nothing is materializing. I'm not getting past the talking stage, or I'm not getting past the situationship stage. I'm not at that point. And I just feel like there is that need within you to be connected to someone here. Okay, because I feel like you've got so much love to give, group 2. I feel like you are such a pure soul. And I feel like people have taken advantage of that, okay, in your past. I feel like, people have taken your kindness for weakness. And not that people see you as weak, but I feel as you're certainly not weak by any stretch of the imagination. I can see that here. You've been through so much. But I feel like, you've definitely felt taken advantage of. And I feel like there's just this part of you that is so innocent, and that, doesn't want to play games, doesn't want to cause anybody else pain or hurt. You're just trying to navigate your life. You're just trying to find the missing pieces, okay, or put the pieces back together in some way. But again, it's like you're being guided to flow here with the sea and imagine, which is Pisces energy, and Pisces represents the sea as well as Cancer. So again, it's like there's this need to flow. Water chooses the path of least resistance. Okay, so wherever, if there's me and my daughter were talking about tsunamis the other day, and she was asking, because obviously in tsunamis, a lot of the devastation of the tsunami is that it picks up buildings and cars, and it just becomes this river of debris, which is deathly, of course, to anybody in its path. And she was asking whether it could, if it happened in New York, not that it would, but could it knock down a tower or something? And I'm like, I'm no scientist, I have no idea, but I'd imagine that the tsunami or the debris will, again, choose the path of least resistance. It'll go down the roads. It'll spill out everywhere else, because it can't get to, say, those buildings, for instance, or it'll just run alongside them. So anyway, I know I'm digressing here, but I feel like there's a point in there somewhere. But definitely a lot about water, which makes sense. There's so much emotion. You're very, like I said, emotionally charged at the moment. Okay, but there is this need for you to just flow, to go along with things. I feel like you're being guided not to over strategize anything. Yeah, to take a step back. Take a step back for now. Like, give yourself a little bit of space. Maybe this is about not planning things. Okay, maybe you've had a plan of how I can meet the love of my life, or excuse me, or how I can make this relationship work, or how I can change this person's mind. All of these things that ruminate in your mind about what you can do to change it and the actions that you take. Like, I feel like you're being guided to step back from that, to flow more with how you're feeling. And again, maybe to plan less and to allow spontaneity to take its place, okay? Because spontaneous things only happen when you're flowing. They don't happen when you're being too rigid, okay? When you're planning, if you've got your day planned out, you know, from morning to night, every single thing, and you're working through it all diligently, I mean, those days are great. And obviously we need to have those days. But there are some days that need to just be more open, more free. Again, allowing for opportunities. Say somebody reaches out to you out of the blue and you haven't got anything planned, you can go along with it, again, in that spontaneity. But if, say, you've got your weekend planned, you know, from Friday to the end of Sunday, then there's no room, okay, for that spontaneity, for the new opportunities to come through. Because, no, it's not to say, of course, you're not going to, for instance, receive new opportunities by planning things. Of course you will. But at this particular moment in time, because this is your current advice, the advice you need right now from Spirit. You know, I'm not talking about months from now or next week even. This is right now. Okay, it feels like, yeah, there's just a need for more fluidity in your life, to allow things to move, to change, and also to flow with the changes that come in. Because again, it can be really hard. Sometimes we can be resistant to change. And if something happens, like we're not happy about it, or we don't want that change and we don't want to go with it, but it feels like then you're going against the tide. It's like if you've ever been caught in a riptide. And I was caught in a riptide once before, actually twice. I was fine both times, but you know, they always say the advice, if you get caught in that riptide, you know, and you're spinning, you just need to relax, and then you need to just swim parallel along the coastline and you'll get out of it, okay? But it's like if you try to fight it, if you try so hard to fight that riptide, you're just going to exhaust yourself more and deplete your energy, and you'll find it harder to get out of it. And that's how a lot of people end up drowning. So in a spiritual or figurative sense, don't fight against it, flow with it. Just realize that this is the place that you're in. Again, if this is on an emotional level, you're feeling down or sensitive, or you know, you're grieving something, flow with it. Don't try and fight it. Naturally, you will come out of it. Okay, when you come out of it, you can start swimming again. You can start taking action, moving forwards, planning again. Now, however long this is for you, maybe this is just, as I said, the next upcoming weekend to keep it clear. Or if you know you've got some free time, but again, you've planned out all of these activities and things you need to do, I feel like you're being guided to reevaluate that list and really go back and say, do I need to do all of these things? Or maybe even, again, things that you're doing because you're trying to win someone's attention or affection. Like doing things like, for instance, going to a place just so you can take pictures and post them to social media. Okay, nothing wrong with that at all, no judgment. We've all done it and we all do it, I'm sure, at points. But I feel like whatever it is you may be strategizing to try to do, just give yourself some time, give yourself a little break here. Yeah. And then we've got the loyal heart. I do just want to mention something, by the way, about the loyal hearts. I had a couple of negative comments on a previous video, which I ended up deleting because it's my channel and I don't need that kind of negativity. But what I will say is they got quite mad because I said that there may be loyalties elsewhere. Okay, the loyal card is about loyalty. Okay, it's not about them being necessarily loyal to you. You know, sometimes this is that someone else, their loyalties will lie elsewhere, which will affect your connection, right? That's a fair comment to say. And I feel like I can't win sometimes, because if I said, oh, they're so loyal to you, then people turn around, they're not loyal, they're loyal to someone else. Do you know what I mean? So I just go with what I feel in the moment. Okay, so if something like this comes up, I'm going to tell you what I feel it means. Okay, but you take it how it resonates and how it makes the most sense. I'm not sure if those people that said that are watching this particular reading or pile, but if you are, please take that as a note. Okay, I certainly would never want to be the bearer of bad news in any way, but I'm always going to be honest. That's the whole point of my channel, is to be authentic, okay, and to give you the news whether it's good or bad. Okay, I do always try to be as sensitive as I can when things don't seem as positive, but again, I'm only human, and sometimes we need to hear the blunt truth. Okay, now maybe this is something, maybe the reason I felt called to say all of this is because that's what's also going on here. Maybe you feel like someone else you're in love with or you care about is prioritizing someone else. For some of you, I do feel that's the case. Okay, and that's what's causing you a lot of pain and upset. Okay, you may not even realize they have loyalties elsewhere, but you're wondering why they're rejecting you. And it may be the case. It may not be because they love them, for instance. Loyalty doesn't always stem from a place of true love, but it's a sense of maybe someone has dirt on them, for instance, and they feel they've got to be loyal to them and not upset them, for instance, by being with you. You know, if this is an ex or something, maybe they feel like they're being controlled in some way. So it's not always a sense of loyalty because they want to. Sometimes it's out of what they feel is self-preservation. But I also feel like this is something that you're so wanting, and you so deserve, group 2. I feel like you are such a loyal person. And again, your heart is loyal. Like when you focus on what you can focus on one person, I feel like. Okay, when you're really in love, not talking about just dating or situationships, but when you commit, you commit. And I feel like this is what you're wanting. Somebody else who is the same, okay, who can offer you that. Okay, we've got the 6th house, we've got the number 44 here, and we've got a few 4s. So this might be a number you're seeing in synchronicity, but 4, so I didn't know why I nearly put that away then. But 4 represents stability, security, and a need for that, okay? But what is your advice? Oh, that's interesting. Okay, these 2 cards came out in the exact same positions in the previous pile. Okay, but it's definitely a different reading. Now, I mean, but you may feel called, some people watch all of the readings, okay? And yeah, if that's what you feel called to do, go ahead. So now 6th house, this is Virgo energy. I feel like this is more about the actual, or part of it is about what you're being guided to do as well. Like once you come into that state of flow, okay, I feel like you're being guided to change up your routine in some way. You know, the house of Virgo is the house of work, okay? The 10th house is a career. But for instance, like you can look at the 6th house and the 10th house when it comes to career, because the 10th house is like the career you'll do, and the 6th house is the type of work you will do in that career. Now, it can explain a lot about the role of what you do. Okay, and the 10th house can explain the role, but also the destiny and, you know, where you're being guided to go. So I feel like, yeah, there is some kind of need for a shift. I said in your daily routine, maybe this is connected to your health. Virgo's very health-orientated sign. So this may be about restoring your health. Maybe this is about starting a new exercise routine. Okay. I mean, they say that's one of the first things you can do when you're feeling really down is to exercise, because it increases the happy hormones in your brain and can elevate you. And you also feel like you've accomplished something, you know, when you've exercised or when you've chosen healthily in terms of your food choices, whatever that may be. And this isn't about, you know, beating yourself up for any choices you've made. You're doing the best you can with the tools you have at any given time. Okay, but it may be in order for you to feel like you can actually move out of this energy, yeah, you need to move your body more. Because again, that's being in a state of flow, isn't it? When you're moving, you're in action, okay? You don't have to have, like I said, a destination though. Like this could be like the equivalent going for a run. I'm just going to run as far as I feel like it. I'm not going to even think about the destination or the route. I'm just going to flow. I'm just going to see where I feel guided to go. Okay, but this could also be even something like yoga. Okay, yoga is one of the best things you can do for not only your body. I mean, I used to be a yoga teacher, so I can talk about this very passionately. You know, I still do yoga all the time. Now, yoga is about mind and body connection. Okay, it's about finding that inner peace, but yoga can strengthen your muscles. It creates more flexibility within your body. It's also, depending on the type of yoga you do, if you do Ashtanga, for instance, you know, it can burn a lot of fat as well. Depends obviously how often you do it and obviously what you're consuming, etc., etc. I'm not obviously here to give specific health advice, but I did used to be a PT, and I am a Virgo, and I've been going to the gym since I was 16. That's something, and I was a gymnast in my childhood years, so it's something I can talk, I feel, with a lot of knowledge about. So that's something, you know, and I don't often get a chance to talk about it on this channel, but yeah, it's something that is beneficial in so many ways. So like I said, it doesn't have to be yoga, could be Pilates, could be weight training, could be swimming. Swimming actually would be great for you. If you live near the ocean, go for a swim. If it's safe and there's no sharks, or go for a swim in the pool. If you've got a local pool, maybe if you're blessed enough to have your own pool, go for a swim in your pool, okay? You need to connect, and that's another way you can help to heal your heart chakra as well as your sacral chakra, okay, is to actually drink more water and to connect more with water. Like you can even visualize whilst you're in the shower, imagine the water coming out of the shower head that is like white light that is healing for you and it's healing your heart, okay, or a bath that is doing the same, you know, you're absorbing all of that positive energy. So yeah, I just see you being in this state where you need to like zen out, you need a moment, you need to flow a little bit. Yeah, because there's a need to release some tension. Okay, maybe you have been feeling quite tense about this whole situation. Maybe you've even been, like I said, beating yourself up and saying, why am I still not over this? Or why can't I move forwards? Why am I still sad about this? But yeah, it's not going to help you to continue beating yourself up. You feel how you feel. That's how it is, okay? But there are things you can do to help shift it. And if you have to think about it symbolically, again, just going back to yoga, if you start moving your body, doing yoga, and you don't have to go to a class, you can even, there are so many amazing people on YouTube that can guide you through a yoga class, you know, and from beginning to advanced, but just something that's going to help you to release the energy, because that's what yoga does as well. It helps to move the energy around your body. You know, if there's any blocks, stagnation, it'll help to shift it. And I can't wait. I'm going to do so much more yoga moving forwards because it's starting to get sunny now in the UK, and my favorite place is to do it outside in the garden. So I can't wait. It becomes addictive when you do it enough, when you see the benefits. Okay, we've got tracker and medicine bag. Yeah, and I mean, that makes sense to me as well, because there's a need to focus on your physical health and your mental health. You know, for some of you, you may have even had a virus. Some of you may have even had COVID. It kind of looks like that COVID. Do you remember that little, like the symbol of COVID, like the little green, was it green? I don't know what. You know what I mean, like the COVID symbol or whatever. But maybe you've had some kind of a virus, and maybe that's something, you know, it's kind of knocked you on your feet. And, you know, because that's the other thing, it can make us feel really, really vulnerable when we're feeling low in our health, okay? And it can, again, sometimes it's like too much time to think. So say if you're laid in bed for a few days or a few weeks, it can really can cause you to bring up or cause a lot of emotions to be brought to the surface. Because I see this here, even the river and then the waterfall, it's like, and that's the thing, it may just begin, like maybe you're even scrolling on social media and you see something sad, and then it like starts the process of this healing. You just never know what the catalyst is, but it's like it's coming out in floods here. So yeah, again, allow tears to fall, But again, I really feel like showers are going to be helpful to you in some way. Of course, we need them to be hygienic, but yeah, maybe this is like changing your shower routine. Maybe you're someone that has showers at night, so maybe you'll start having them in the morning, or again, vice versa, or just increasing the amount of showers you have. But I mean, and if you can get to a waterfall, if you're somewhere where you're close to a waterfall, get to the waterfall. That standing under a waterfall, a natural one, will be so incredibly healing for you. And I'm so jealous. I wish there was a local waterfall around here, because I would be there. So yeah, if you can find something like that, that would be amazing. But like I said, a shower will also do very well. Now the midheaven here is pointing towards, you know how I was saying about the 6th house? The 10th house is usually where the midheaven sits. It can sometimes sit in the 9th house as well of travel. Maybe traveling would be a good trip, a good trip, of course. Traveling would be a good way, again, moving the energy. Maybe you need to leave your environment for a little bit, even if you can maybe just taking a night away from home, a night away from family, or a night with family or friends, or just whatever it may be. Just something about needing to get out of your environment, doing something a little bit different. Yeah. Okay, anything else that's coming through here for you? I definitely feel like you've been having some very intense dreams as well, group 2. A lot of dreams. I feel like these are night dreams, and of course you may have your daytime fantasies, but I feel like it's pointing more towards the night, and that again, you're releasing a lot of emotional blocks through your dreams. So even if they feel quite painful and you don't want to experience them at the moment, they're definitely helping in ways that you may not always see, but hopefully maybe now you can. Okay, we've got the Chariot in reverse and the Ace of Swords in reverse, 4 of Cups. Yeah, so there is this need, again, to take a break. That has come through very clearly. The Chariot is about putting things on pause. Okay, I feel like this is about, again, about your heart, okay? I feel like this is taking a break from a person, or from thinking about a person. Again, I know that is easier said than done. If only we could just click our fingers and get over people, that would be amazing. But it's going to take some time. But I feel like you're being guided to put your needs and self first, okay? Doing these things that are going to be helpful to you healing, to you being able to move forwards and achieve the goals and dreams you want to with this midheaven, because I know that you've got a lot of dreams and goals you want to achieve in this life group too, but you feel in some way, again, you're going around in circles. Excuse me. Oh, cold coffee. Ew. Okay. But the 4 of Cups, yeah, there is a lot of restless energy. So again, you may be feeling like, oh my God, I don't want to break anymore. I've been doing enough breaking. Even on the bottom of the deck here, take time to breathe out. Okay, but I do feel like it's part of your process. It's what has been needed here. So let's just get some more information. And again, like I said, I think I said this in group 1's reading. Sometimes I can't remember what I've said in each, but like this is how things are now. This is your advice from Spirit right now. This isn't what you're being guided to do in a month from now, 2 months from now. This is like where you're being guided in the here and now, okay? And by the way, I know I dropped some cards then, but there was more than 3. If there's less than 3, or 3 or less, I take them. If there's more, I don't. That's just my own personal rule. See, there we got 4 that just jumped out. I'm not taking them. But again, I think somebody commented about that before, like, why did you put the cards away? But that's just what I do. Okay, I certainly don't pick and choose what comes out. Hence why I shuffle live most of the time. Sometimes I pre-select cards, like when I used to do that more so. And more so for time's sake, to keep the videos a little bit shorter. But I would always, for instance, I would shuffle the cards and I would place them face down, because I want to look at them live with you at the same time, okay? Because that's when I can hit my intuition. If I look at them before and try, that would be exhausting. Who has time for that? Okay. Your advice, what do you need to release? Yeah, exactly. I really feel like it's time for you to release a person, a situation, or whatever has been causing you the most pain. Okay, whatever you've been holding on to that has been causing you pain, it's time to let go. Emotions are running high. I'm not surprised to see that, because that has been a strong theme, hasn't it, throughout your whole reading, group 2. Emotions are running high. Okay, things have been very tense lately. But I feel like once you release things, again, release the blocks, release the person. And again, maybe it's like you can even tell yourself, right, I'm not going to think about this person for the next 7 days. Every time they pop into my head, I'm going to distract myself with something else. Okay, so even if you just need to do that, or I'm going to take a break from them and then I'll reevaluate later. Or for some of you, this might be cutting it completely. Death card energy. Letting them go for good, especially if they've been bringing you down. And then expect powerful change. So, wow. Okay, so just know, group 2, that where you are right now, you're not going to remain. Okay, this pain, this emotional sensitive place you're in is going to be the breakthrough here for change. We've got the new moon eclipse, and we had the new moon eclipse last week. Okay, so very, very intense energy, bringing about huge changes. Okay, so there is a lot for you to look forwards to, but I feel like in this here and now, this is where you need to place your focus on what you need to release, what blocks you can let go of, moving your body a little bit more, and using the element of water to help you heal. Okay, this is what's going to help you get through this. Yeah, it's been a challenging time, and my heart goes out to you, group 2, because I know that this has been very hard for you, and I know it's still very hard for you, and you're going through it, but just know that it will not last. Nothing lasts forever. Again, every part of life is flowing. Things change, things end, okay? And the current state of where you are now emotionally and intellectually is not going to remain. There's parts of it you can take control of, and parts of it where it's just time. Time will help heal many wounds, okay? But it changes, positive changes are coming. And I actually want to get, before I finish, I might just get a couple of cards on what this might be. Let's just get some clues, a couple of clues as to, because this might help you then to feel like, oh, I've got something to look forwards to. Okay, because sometimes that's all we need, is the ray of hope. Just the smallest ray of hope to feel like, yeah, you know what, there is something positive for me in the future. So you can hold on, keep going. So what is this powerful change? What is this powerful change going to bring about for you? Adjacent possibilities. Interesting. Oh, okay. Woman holding a coin. I'm going to get one more. What is this powerful change, this new moon eclipse energy going to bring for you? Ooh, rest and rejuvenate. Wow, love this for you, group 2, okay, because I feel like this is you feeling at peace, okay? So again, if you've been feeling super stressed, anxious, no more, okay? Look, he's in that Zen position. There's so much about being in that lotus position. Okay, so even if you don't want to do an entire yoga practice, meditation, sitting in the lotus position, or even, you know, an adjusted lotus position, if your knees, you know, hurt in that position, there's ways of, adjusting. But I feel like you're being guided to sit in the present moment a little bit. Again, having balance with resting, meditating, but also moving your body, okay? But I see this great sense of peace and calm coming over you soon, okay? Where you're able to let all of this go, and you're happy with how things are in the present moment, because there are opportunities coming in. Many, look how many doors there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 doors. And 7 is the most spiritual of all the numbers. So this might be, I've never even counted the doors, so I don't know why I felt called to. So maybe there will be like 7 opportunities for you specifically. But I definitely feel like this is going to open up the doorway to money. Okay. Even though I know that love and relationships and all these things that you want, but I feel like money is coming first. Okay, this may be what helps you to come into alignment with the right person. Okay, money can open up so many more doors, can help you to feel more free. It's not always about material things. It's the freedom that extra money will bring you. You know, the sense of peace as well. If you've been worrying about finances, you know, you're not going to have to worry anymore. You're going to feel secure, stable, like you've got more than enough. Okay, abundance. And I mean, look how lavishly dressed she is. I just feel like, yeah, you're also going on an external glow up. Like you're just going to look better and better, but also your money is getting better. And then that may open up all these new doors of opportunities for love, for career, for holidays, experiences. So there is a lot for you to look forwards to. I can see that so clearly, Group 2. So don't give up hope. Don't ever give up hope, because there is light at the end of the tunnel. So I really hope that this resonates with you. I would love to know what you think. If it resonated, even if it didn't, okay? There's no need for rudeness on this channel. If there's ever rudeness, I will just delete. You can say things with a nice delivery, okay? Because I am a human being behind this. Sometimes I get comments and it doesn't feel like, they don't think I'm human. Just treat me with respect. I'll treat you with respect. Because even one of my wonderful clients, if you're watching this, you know who you are. I know I've been having sound issues lately. And she actually sent me an email and letting me know, you know, privately about the issues, rather than putting it on in my comments, which I don't mind, by the way. I do respect, you know, please let me know if there are issues. But there are kind ways to say it and unkind ways to say it. And sometimes some people's delivery isn't always the best, but I realize that, but I would rather know than not know always. Okay. But anyway, like I said, just comment below. I would love to know what you have to think, if you did enjoy this or not. Okay. And if you'd like to book a personal reading with me, the link to my website is below. I do hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Bye for now. Hi, Group 3. So let's take a look at the advice from Spirit. Okay. What you need to know right now. Apologies if you can hear the gardeners in the background, my neighbours. It's very loud. Maybe, but hopefully you can't hear it. But my apologies, not something in my control. Okay, so what is coming through? What is the advice that Spirit wants you to know at this moment in time, group number 3? Okay, so we have refusing to see. Oh, darkest fears. Nurture. Gives me Empress energy. Makes me think of Taurus. Taurus and Aries is coming through here. So I don't know if you have Taurus, Aries placements, potentially. Okay, but let me see. Group number 3. Now, I'm definitely seeing a lot of anxiety here, okay? With these 2 cards, the blue borders, this is very much what's going on in your mind. Like, I feel like you're ruminating a lot at the moment, okay? Your mind is definitely quite overactive. Now, this may be just how you are in general, or maybe this is something that you're just going through at this moment. You're struggling to feel like you're in control of your thoughts at times, which I feel like can be quite upsetting for you, because maybe these are like intrusive thoughts, or like this impending doom, this feeling of things going wrong, this worry that things are going to go wrong. Like all of your darkest fears are rising to the surface at this time. Okay, but it feels like maybe these are things that you were choosing in one way not to see, whether this was consciously or unconsciously. Okay, sometimes we unconsciously ignore certain things, you know, like selective hearing. I feel like it can also be selective seeing. Like we choose what we want to see, not always what actually is in front of us. Okay, but there is a block here. Now, for some of you, you may even be feeling like you've actually been blocked by another person, or you had to block someone. But it may not be as severe as that. It may just be that there's ignoring. Maybe you feel ignored, or you feel like there's no communication, or that there's a lot of confusion here. Okay, I feel like you get stuck between, I don't know whether these are two different people, two different jobs, or just two different ideas and two different states of thinking, like from positive to negative and negative to positive. And you're really trying hard to balance everything out at this time. But I feel like there is growth here with the nurture cards. It gives me the Empress. Okay, this is about you feeling abundant, you feeling like the seeds you have planted are starting to grow and take shape. The flowers are all starting to bloom. But it's a stark contrast from this side, okay, of these worries, this pain, this mental anguish, to this sense of growth, to this sense of freedom, liberation, feeling grounded, feeling secure. Now, this may be the way in which you're being guided to help release the anxiety, is to ground yourself. Okay, because when you think about it, anxiety is all up in the head. It's the higher chakras. So if you want to mitigate being so up in your head, you need to come down to earth, because the root chakra is the lowest of all the chakras. You know, earth is down low, air is up high. So I feel like one of the ways that will help to heal you and help you to get out of this rumination is to focus on the practical things of your life, the things that you have control to change. Whether this is your physical body, whether this is your financial health, whether it's connected to your home or maybe even your garden. Okay, they also say gardening is very, very good if you're suffering with depression or a low mood, because there's certain nutrients and energies within the soil. Even like touching the soil with your bare hands will really help to ground you. Walking barefoot on the earth will ground you. So even just taking a walk in nature or in your garden, or like I said, doing some gardening in your actual garden, or even in your home, if you've got some house plants, like nurture them, make sure they're watered, make sure they're in the right lighting, make sure, maybe even, it reminded me, but I need to like clean the leaves and stuff of my petals with just some water, and give them because they get dusty over time. So yeah, I feel like there's a need to nurture the earthly matters. Okay, this could even be connected to children or pets or your health. As I said, these, very physical things. Maybe this is also money, putting money away to save, or maybe spending more money. Money has to be in a state of flow all the time. Hence why some banks will charge you when the money just sits there, if it's in a savings account. But as soon as you move it, you don't get charged, right? Because again, money needs to flow in order to receive more of it. So maybe there's a need to do a declutter, which is very symbolic for cleansing energy, for bringing money in, keeping the windows clean, as the window is the window of opportunity. Again, it's all symbolism, but it helps, okay? Because symbolism imprints on the subconscious mind. That's why vision boards work. Especially if you have it up all the time, it's something you're seeing all the time, but you're not consciously aware of it. It becomes just part of the scenery. But your subconscious is always taking it in. That's how manifestation works. It works in the subconscious. You consciously think of what you want, and then it is created after it goes through the subconscious. Sometimes it's the subconscious that it hits first, okay? But in the Lovers card, it shows it goes from earth, up high to down low. That is the triangle of manifestation. Okay, so the idea has to come, then it has to be absorbed into the subconscious for divine guidance to bring it into your reality. But you have to start somewhere. And that's the thing, maybe you're struggling with procrastination a lot. Okay, and there's this need to just do something to, like I said, plant the seed, to get yourself moving, to initiate a plan, because you'll never reach the finish line if you don't begin. And beginning can be the hardest part. Yes, running the race can be physically taxing, but regardless, you'll feel better that you tried and you got going. You still got a lot further than if you never begun. So there is a need, I feel like, for you to initiate something, which is also going to help release a lot of this worry and doubts. And even though you may still have these worries, like you could initiate something and still feel worried, you could still feel anxious about it, but you'll feel better as a whole because you've taken action and you've done your part. And that's the thing, all you need to do is begin. Because think about it, like, and I've been talking about cleaning a lot today, if you've been watching my other piles, but it keeps coming up for me today. But if you're cleaning something, and probably because I'm Virgo rising and sun, so cleaning is a big part of my identity, but I believe in the symbolism of it, okay? As above, so below. If you've got mental clutter and physical clutter, start with the physical clutter, then move on, it'll help to clear the mental clutter. But yeah, if you just say your whole house needs doing, you just need to begin somewhere. But again, it can be a daunting process. But once you begin, it puts you on that vibration to keep going. Like oftentimes I've been like starting in one room and I'm cleaning something I didn't want to clean. And then as I'm cleaning it, I move on to something else. And then I do something else. And I just move and I keep flowing with it. And I get so much more done just from beginning. But I do get the sense you're worried about taking a risk, okay? So there's something about it, something about this new beginning that feels risky for you. Because maybe, oh my God, it says clean it up. I'll get to that in a sec. But if this is a project, something connected to your work, something connected to your money, whatever it may be for you, maybe if you just want to feel like you get your life in order, but there's a fear of failure. It's like almost the fear to begin. It's like you're at the beginning of the race, but you're worried. Like you're wondering, did I put in enough time? Did I prepare myself enough? Have I put in as much effort as the other people in this race? But those are not things, again, you have control over at that point. You know you've done your absolute best. And the thing is, it can drive you further. Say you do the race and you don't win, but you come third place or something, and that gives you this motive, or you come last even, but it makes you feel like, okay, I can do better next time, you know, so you push yourself even further. But again, you've got a lot further by trying than not trying at all. Unfinished symphony, yeah, there is something here, there's some unfinished business that you need to take care of here. Because yeah, at the moment you're in this poised position, like you don't feel like you can move. Like it's like being like stuck to the point that you're at. What am I thinking of? Like if you're a statue, like you can't move, like you're stone. Even her, I mean, oh my God, she is like a statue. She's on this pillar here. She's poised, she's ready, but she's not doing anything. Okay, and so yeah, it just feels like, look, clean it up. That's your way to get out of this. And that's the thing, you may even see it as, how is cleaning my house going to help my career? But it can. Again, it's getting the ball rolling. If you clear the space, you're clearing the way for opportunities to come in. You know, and it gets you on that positive action vibration. The yang energy is what I feel you need out of the yin and the yang to like get yourself moving. Like I feel like you've been stagnant for a long time here. But again, I know it's not easy because maybe this is about putting yourself out there. Maybe there's something you've been wanting to begin, like a social media channel, or like I said, a new business, and you're worried about the criticism, or you're worried about failing. But remember, you don't have to tell anybody you know what you're doing. Sometimes that's the key. Do it for yourself, okay? And share it if you want to share it. But sometimes, I mean, they say it's better to work like privately, you know, like do the grind behind the scenes, okay? Because sometimes even telling other people, if they have doubts as well, they can put doubts in your mind. So maybe it's like other people's opinions that have made you doubt yourself, okay? But it's time to have more faith and trust in you, okay? The skills that you have acquired, the knowledge that you've gained over the years, the experience and what you've put your time and energy into. There's so much abundance here. So much abundance here for you. It's almost at your fingertips, but you just need to get moving. And I feel like it's a lot closer than you realize. A lot closer. It reminds me of this picture. It's always stuck in my brain, but it's like like an illustration of, and it's the paper is split into two, and there are two people digging in a cave. Like I said, you might have seen this before. They're both digging in a cave. The one person has dug and they've reached the diamonds. The other person that's down below gives up and walks away, but you see that there's only a tiny little bit of way. If he'd carried on, he would have reached the diamonds too, but he gave up. And maybe he gave up because he saw the other person got there first, so he just felt deflated, rather than maybe that making him feel competitive and thinking, oh, if you got it, I'm going to get it too. And I feel like that's the energy almost you need, like the fire in your belly that pushes you, okay, to make things happen for yourself, okay? And I know we all want things to just fall into our laps, okay? Sometimes they do, okay? But there are other times we need to grind, okay? We need to get moving, and I feel like this is your time, even though I know it's tough. And what you've been going through is necessary. You've needed a break. You've needed to almost get to this place of mental confusion and fears and doubts, to know that, especially if you still want to do this thing, if you're afraid to do it but you do it anyway, that builds so much courage, okay? And the thing is, if you're passionate about something, you'll continue doing it, whether you're getting paid or recognition or not, because you love what you do. And I feel like that's almost what you're being guided towards here. This is very Venusian energy here, okay? This is about beautiful things coming to you, money. I really feel like some luxury items are on their way, okay? But the facilitation of money and freedom will help you to get there. But yeah, there is a need to review things. Maybe this is like, as well, it's a lot about symbolism. If you're into manifesting, symbolism is incredibly helpful. Now, it may be that there is this need to clean out your inbox, for instance, your emails, or, you know, when things start backing up, okay, or replying to people, especially if you've been MIA for a while. I feel like it's time. It's time to start taking action. And maybe give yourself a time frame. Say, okay, I'm going to do this within the next 24 hours or within the next 7 days. But I wouldn't wait much longer than that, Group 3. I feel like you're being guided to leap into this, because this is your advice now. Okay, this isn't your advice in the future. This is what you're being guided to do now. There'll be plenty of time to rest and to luxuriate in all of these wonderful things coming to you very soon. Like I said, it's not far away. But you're only going to get there if you start moving, if you start digging, if you start clearing away the clutter of your life. This could also be releasing negative people. And maybe this is something you're starting to evaluate, like how you feel around certain people. Because we can actually get physical symptoms when somebody isn't right for us, or we can feel all sorts of negative emotions being around people that may not be best for our energy. Not to say they're bad people, but just they may not be our people. So for some of you, it may be about clearing out those that no longer serve you, or maybe doing a social media clear out, like removing people or unfollowing people that no longer either interest you or have your best interests at heart. Okay, but it's time to take a leap of faith. Okay, it's time to take a leap of faith into what it is you really want to do, whatever this unfinished symphony is representing for you. We've got Trine, Sagittarius. Ooh, 9th house. We got like double 9th house Sagittarius energy here. Okay. And then dignified strength. Beautiful. So, Group 3. I feel like you're being guided to go on a trip, to plan an adventure. Okay. Now, this may also be an opportunity that will come to you very soon. Like I said, it's sooner than you realize. Sagittarius itself is very quick moving energy. Very, very quick. I think it's like the bow and the arrow, right? Think how quick that is. So it's something that's going to happen quickly. Like maybe you already have a trip that you've planned and you're about to go on a holiday, and this is, you know, what's really needed. Maybe you'll feel inspired to take action after the holiday or just before the holiday. Now, it may be that this vacation, maybe it's connected to the project or work. I definitely see some sort of long distance travel here that is needed. Okay, so whether this comes to you, but again, I feel like a lot of this is about you taking action, and it will come, but it won't necessarily always be in the way that you think. For some of you, this will be, okay, I'm actually going to budget, I'm going to plan, I'm going to pay the deposit, even if it's you're planning a trip for a few months from now, or even a year from now, like you're taking action to move forwards with that plan. For others of you, this may be, for instance, you meet up with a friend and you have a coffee and they mention that somebody's fallen off the trip that they were going on, and then they invite you in their place, which may not have happened if you didn't meet the friend for coffee. It could be very spontaneous. Okay, so like I said, it's still you taking action, but not necessarily in a completely direct way. Like I said, for some of you it will be, for others of you it won't. Okay, it'll just happen organically. Especially with this trine energy, it's giving me friendship. Okay, I'm seeing the 3, like a group of 3. So maybe you'll go on a group with a group of 3 people, or maybe it'll be like 4 in total. Like maybe it'll even be like a coupling thing, double date type of trip. Could be. But it's very easy flowing energy, the trine. Very easy. It feels, it's effortless. When 3 planets are in this kind of alignment, they work well together. For example, when they're in tension in a square, they're not getting on. They're not seeing eye to eye. Okay. So this feels like a very favorable time for you for growth. Again, growth is a big thing here too, because Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, which is the planet of expansion. So, and it's also good luck as well. So I do feel like you'll feel like your luck is turning in your favor moving forwards, but it's like you just have to dig a little bit further and you will get there. So it's like you're so close to the finish line. Don't give up yet. Don't give up, okay? Because I see you going somewhere very far. I see you receiving physical abundance, okay? This could be gifts, physical gifts. Okay, or the money to afford to buy yourself more gifts. And I feel like this is like spreading the love as well. Like the Sagittarius is like that, spreading the love. Sometimes, Sagittarius can spread whatever it gets. So it can spread love. It could spread hate if it wanted to. It could spread gossip, okay? It could spread good news. For instance, like social media in representation of Sagittarius is, for instance, there are certain people that will share things all the time. They're not sharing their own personal thoughts or photos. They're sharing other people's stuff. That is the energy of Sagittarius, okay? Passing on the baton, okay? And I feel like all of this abundance is coming to you for your highest good, but also for the highest good of others. Because again, this puts you on this very positive, uplifted vibration. And I feel like you're going to have more money, more disposable income to be able to share it with other people. So you'll get to feel more generous with it as well. Okay. And it's like the energy of reciprocity. It's like you've been putting in so much time and effort and it's all coming back to you. And then you're going to be able to give it back to other people as well, which is just making everybody happy. So yeah, I really feel like your luck is turning very, very positively for you. You just got to get past this next step, okay? But you're so close. You're so, so close. And I feel like, something about doing this in a very dignified way, okay? In a strong, but cool, calm, and collected. Something about that's coming through, like the energy of you feeling cool, calm, and collected. Again, which contrasts quite strongly to how you begin here, which is very anxious and fearful and stuck. But then it's like moving into this, strong, powerful energy where you realize your strengths, okay? And you use your strengths to your advantage, because that's the key, isn't it? The strengths we already have, we build upon and we use them, okay, to better our lives. And our weaknesses, we can always improve upon. Okay, we can work towards those things, but sometimes it's like cut your losses. Sometimes it's not worth always working on the weaknesses, because everybody has their place in this world. Okay, for instance, if you're not the best cook, but you excel at so many other things in a relationship, maybe your partner's a great cook, so they'll be able to do the cooking, and you can focus on these other things that your strengths lie within. Okay, which again is better for everybody. because usually it's the things that you have strength in that you usually enjoy as well. It doesn't always align like that, but I feel like a lot of the time, we tend to enjoy the things that we're good at. As we get better at things, we tend to enjoy them more and more, as it stands. But again, that's not a hard and fast rule. But yeah, this is definitely a time of you playing to your strengths. So I feel like Spirit is guiding you to take stock of what your strengths are. Maybe even just to write them down. I feel like this would be a really great exercise for you to also get out of your head a little bit. To focus positively on those things that you are really good at. The things that you excel in. The character strengths. The qualities. Your perspective. You're unique. We are all unique. But you have a unique gift. And I feel like you're being guided to acknowledge that. Ooh, it may have even been a gift that was passed down, okay, from somebody older than you, okay? But I also feel like maybe you're going to be hanging around with people that are a little bit older, whether these are family members or friends or colleagues. It's something about hanging around, spending time with older people at the moment. And I feel like this is going to also help you, because especially these, that's the gift that comes with age, is wisdom. And so I feel like you're going to be able to gain a lot of wisdom through connecting more with these people that are older, that have done it before, that have experienced what you've experienced and come through it on the other side. I mean, we have Sacred Mountain here as well. It's very earthy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. Seeing what else am I picking up about this Sacred Mountain? I don't know, I'm kind of taking it literally. That's what I'm getting. Something about climbing a mountain. So you may actually, like say, on this trip, you may climb up a mountain, or maybe you'll get like a cable car or something, like a cable trip car ride, like up a mountain. Yeah, something about being on a cable car, something to do with that in one of your trips. I see you going up high, but also here, it's like this spiral staircase. Something about you reaching the top here, but it feels very physical. Okay, so let's just get some tarot. Oop. Knight of Pentacles. Okay. Oh, that was too many. Okay. So Knight of Pentacles reversed. We have the Judgment reversed. Ooh, Empress and the Six of Wands on the bottom of the deck. I really, really love this reading. I hope you're enjoying it too. And if it's bringing you any level of reassurance, guidance, or clarity, please do give it a thumbs up, or please comment if this is, resonating. I do appreciate your kind words. Okay, and I like to know that I'm on the right track and that I'm connecting. So I do appreciate it. But you've got double Empress energy here. So like I said, you are moving into a period of growth, of expansion, and good fortune. Okay, good fortune. You're going to be looking the best you've ever looked. You're going to be feeling the best you've ever felt. Your mind is going to feel the clearest. And you'll feel like, you're having fun. You're experiencing new things. You're learning a lot more. And you're really living life to the fullest. That's what I'm seeing here. Where you haven't been previously, you're going to be moving forwards, okay? But it's like you just have to get out of your own way right now, and things are going to shift. Because this Knight of Pentacles, I feel like, there's this sense of you not putting in the work, or not feeling like you can do any more, okay? And maybe there's a fear, like I said, a fear of judgment, a fear of what other people will say, a fear of you failing, because that could be the thing. You could be your own worst critic, okay? And feeling like, if I fail, like, that's going to really affect my confidence. But the way you need to see it is that, look how confident I am. Even though I had all of these doubts, I tried it anyway. Okay, it's empowering, because you're like, wow, I can't believe I had the balls to do this. Like, even though I was so scared, or I was scared what other people would say, like, I actually did this. So it's going to do the opposite. It's going to bring about more bravery and confidence and courage within you, which will then put you on the path to do more courageous things. When you think about adrenaline junkies, they didn't start off like, flying down a mountain in a wingsuit, for instance, which are hella scary. I've done a skydive before, but I think that's as far as I would go. But, they have to do a certain amount of base jumps or skydives before they're, allowed to do the wingsuit fly. You know, you have to make those steps, but it's like, you know, they may have started with just, you know, when they were kids, like amusement parks or something. That may have like caused that, you know, craving of adrenaline. Okay, but then it just spirals. Okay, then they want to do more and more and more. And when you see, like, you know, parkour, if that's still a thing, or, you know, when people, you see those videos of like guys doing parkour on like the top of cranes and these buildings and these small ledges, and you're just on edge watching them, figuratively watching them on a ledge, literally. Scary as hell. But again, they wouldn't have started at that point. You know, they've built up their courage and bravery to do that. Now, some of you, of course, may think it's silly and it's, you know, a silly risk of their life and what they could do. But obviously, regardless, without judging them for why they're doing it, you can still account or be aware that they are brave. You can still give them that, okay? Because, you know, looking at things in a balanced way, you can be like, okay, they're crazy and I wouldn't do the same, but they're definitely brave, or they've got balls. And I feel for you, it's going to be the same way. You start taking these steps. No, I don't mean extreme steps. Maybe for some of you, you want to, whatever you want to do, it's your bag. But as you start taking these steps, you will start feeling more courage to take even bigger steps. So even though you feel afraid of this now, I feel like you'll look back on it and go, oh my God, that wasn't even that scary. And I've done much scarier afterwards, you know? It's time to release negativity. Full moon in Scorpio. And a personal issue reaches resolution. Full moon in Cancer, and then new moon eclipse. I love this. Love this ending for you here, because, yeah, I mean, this is just reiterating everything that's come through here about letting go. Letting go of the doubts, of the worries, or just, again, acknowledging that they're there, but pushing through anyway. Okay, this is your time to break through. And a personal issue will reach resolution, okay? And yeah, with the Cancer energy, it could have a connection to children or your mother, or to the feminine, the divine feminines in your life. Could have a connection to your home, as Cancer represents the home. But it could be as well, like you might even go on like a beach holiday or something, or somewhere where there's, yeah, where you're by the sea, which may be very healing and make you feel happy. Could be. But yeah, I just feel like what you're going through right now, the worst pain, anguish, mental torture at times, is not going to last. Like I said, you're very, very close to this powerful change here. Okay, this eclipse is going to shake up everything. And I'm actually recording this during eclipse season as well, so very, very powerful. But this is intense, okay? There's going to be a big shake-up in your life, huge shake-up, which again, I don't feel like you see coming. I really don't. Even after this reading, I feel like it's still going to surprise you in a way, but you're going to feel so much more abundant, so much luckier. Okay, like things are finally working for you. So again, in this trine energy, like, you know, like you just have some days where it's like everything's just working, like, oh, that just works so easily. Or like, reminds me, I went to the gym last week and it was one of those days. It was like a trine session, because like every machine I wanted to use, I could use easy. Sometimes the attachment, like say on the cable machines, was already on there that I needed to use. Or I went to the squat rack, the Smith machine, and it was all set up to do hip thrusts. Like the girl literally just left and I was like, perfect. You know, sometimes it's the setup of these things that can be quite arduous. And again, sometimes, like I said, people are on the machines, or they're in your way, or there's some kind of obstacle. But it was just one of those beautiful flowing days. Okay, but I feel like you're about to have one of those very flowing chapters. It's not just going to be a day. I feel like it's going to be a little while here. Of course, life moves and ebbs and flows, so it's not always going to feel easy. There are going to be challenging times ahead in your life. That's natural for all of us. But I feel like you so deserve an easier time of it now, Group 3. You've paid your dues and it's time to reap the rewards, okay? You just need to take a couple of actionable steps and you'll get there. But it's not far. There's not a lot that you need to do before you reach this place, okay? Where you see the change, you feel the change, and you feel grateful for the change. So I really hope that this resonates with you, Group 3. Please do comment below. If it does, I would love to know what you think. And if you haven't yet subscribed, please do so. Okay, all of your support really does help, and hopefully you'll be able to see my videos when they pop up much quicker. So Thank you so much in advance. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Bye for now.